Hi, and welcome to the 2016 IBT International Election. This year we are using an iPad tracking application called Mission Control, which will allow you to follow the progress of local union ballots down the ballot processing line. It allows you to independently move and monitor locals, from opening a local in eligibility, moving to slitting, onto extraction, and finally to hand it off to the remark/remake area on its way to final tabulation. It even performs most calculations for you. You will be responsible for opening the correct local and manually recording the number of voids at each step. Mission Control fills in the rest of the numbers for you. It also allows the floor supervisor to track every local that is in progress at each of the 11 ballot processing lines. Please watch as we demonstrate how Mission Control works in this video. You will also get a chance for hands-on practice with a number of locals during the weekend training sessions until you feel completely comfortable. When you receive your iPad at the start of your shift and turn it on, it will be fully charged. The iPad will prompt you to slide a bar to unlock it, and to then enter the passcode. The passcode for all iPads is 8683, which spells out VOTE. If for any reason you forget the passcode is 8683, you will be required to watch this video again. Once you have opened the iPad, you will notice there's only one button available on the screen, named FileMaker Go. As you have probably guessed by now, you should push the button. Click Mission Control to launch and take you to the main menu. At the start of the count, each of the three slots, eligibility, slitting, and extraction, are unoccupied. To begin, press the button that says Start a New Local. This button is located in the upper left corner of the main menu. A pop-up window will ask you to confirm your choice. You will be prompted to enter the 4-digit OES code and press Continue. The vast majority of locals have a simple 4-digit code. For example, Local 5 would simply be 0005. Local 2727 would be 2727. When counting ballots from the GCC, the BLET, or the BUMWED, use your chart to match the OES code with the unit name. For example, GCC C444 has an OES code of 3124. BUMWED System Federation Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe has an OES code of 4103, and BLET General Committee of Adjustment 740 is 5740. Once you enter the 4-digit OES code and press Continue, you are transported to the eligibility screen. Let's look at the screen. The eligibility screen displays lots of important information that is pre-entered, unchangeable, and has important gray boxes, and one white box which is equally important and requires you to enter data. At the top of the screen there are 3 blue tabs which allow you to switch between the locals that are in varying stages of production on your line. Beneath the tabs is the identifying information for the local, including the local name, region, and number of members. Displayed under the pre-scan results column is information about the number of members who were scanned in the pre-count phase, and automatically enters those members whose late arriving ballots were not scanned during the pre-count and are being scanned for the first time now. Displayed under the eligibility results column is the activity log for all work being performed today in eligibility. The system automatically tracks those members who were scanned as eligible, those who are initially challenged, and the number of ballots to be sent to extraction. You will also notice a supervisor void box in gray that does not require you to enter data. At the conclusion of eligibility testing, you will instruct the eligibility consultant to rescan the ballots to be voided and code them as such in the system. This will automatically be reflected in the supervisor void box. There will be no ballots in your tray that are unable to be scanned, because if they could not be scanned, they would have not been sorted into the local trays during the pre-count process. It is a rare occurrence for a member to return more than one ballot package, but when it does happen, they should be processed carefully and uniformly. First, compare the ballot packages. This year, our pre-count system instructed the agent to write the date of the receipt on the envelope. In some limited cases, the first envelope was received before the duplicate request was made. In these cases, the agent was instructed to note this on the second ballot package received. Using the notes on the ballot envelope, you should use the latest arriving ballot package for each member, placing them in the eligible or the challenge tray, according to their ECR code, and void the others, logging the total number of voided ballot packages in the white box. If a member returned 3 ballots and 2 are voided, then you should enter 2 in the duplicate ballots voided box. If you are unable to determine which ballot package to count and you void all of them, you should give one of the envelopes to the eligibility consultant to void on the machine. Challenged ballot packages should be set aside and itemized on your paperwork. Eligible ballots, which will always equal the total in the gray ballots to slitting box, get moved to the slitting station. And finally, please note the 2 blue buttons on the right. The refresh button will update the results on the page. The main menu button will take you back to the main menu. At the conclusion of eligibility scanning, it is time to move the local into slitting. You do this by returning to the main menu and pressing the blue button that says Move to Slitting. A pop-up window will ask you to confirm your choice. This also frees up the eligibility slot to open a new local for eligibility. Until you move a local to slitting, you cannot open a new local for eligibility. Now let's look at the slitting screen. The color of the screen has changed, but much of the data is the same information as from before. It contains the same 3 blue tabs across the top to navigate between eligibility, slitting, and extraction. It contains the same local number, region, and membership count. On the far right side, it contains the same refresh and main menu buttons. Under the center column, there are 3 boxes. 2 of the boxes are in gray and are automatically calculated. The first gray box is the ballots received, which carries over from the ballots to slitting box from the eligibility screen. The white box in the middle is where line supervisors enter in any voids during the slitting process. Unlike the eligibility phase, these ballot packages will not be rescanned and voided. Instead, they should be voided by hand. The final gray box simply reflects the starting number of eligible ballot packages to slitting minus any voids. This number carries forward to the extraction phase. Okay, the pig is moving down the python. Let's talk about extraction. At the conclusion of the slitting page, go back to the main menu to move the local into extraction. You do this by returning to the main menu and pressing the blue button that says Move to Extraction. A pop-up window will ask you to confirm your choice. This also allows the local in eligibility to move to slitting, and it allows you to open another local in eligibility. Now let's look at the extraction screen. Again, this screen should look very familiar to you by now. Once again, most of the data is the same as on prior screens, with one new column of boxes to focus on. The first gray box, Ballots to Extract, is a carry-forward number from the slitting screen. Next, there are 2 white boxes for voids. One is to record all voids due to empty envelopes, and the other is to record supervisor discretion voids. These 2 numbers subtract from the starting number and leave the supervisor with a final number to move to Remark Remake. At the conclusion of extracting, go back to the main menu. Press the button to move the local to the Remark Remake, and the ballot handlers will move the ballots one step closer to tabulation. This action frees up a local to move from slitting to extraction, another local to move from eligibility to slitting, and for the line supervisor to open a new local in eligibility. You will be off and running with Mission Control in no time, but remember, if you ever have any questions or need a little extra help, there will be plenty of support on hand. The morning shift can look for Bob Harrington, who will be stationed in the server room off the near count floor, or Andy Harrington, who will be stationed at line 10 on the far count floor. Those of you on the afternoon shift can look for Luke Henrici, who will be stationed in the server room off the near count floor, or Mike Armstrong, who will be stationed at line 10 on the far count floor. or either shift can flag down Matt or Julie if they are walking by. We all know every vote counts. With this system, not only will every vote count, but now it will be easier than ever to account for every vote. Thank you for your participation in this important election.